check. Mic check. Mic check. Hey, we live on Kick. YouTube, we caught up. And if that's the case, Twitch, we should be good.
In the last maybe 2 months than anyone has ever seen. Some people say.
Okay, we're good. Good everywhere. Shut that down. I'll pull up YouTube. Just to see what's up. Alright, man. So here we go, man. We had a lot of NBA 2K news today. We had a lot of news come through. So we can go ahead and check out some of these videos. And first things first, let's go ahead and watch the, what do you call it? The damn thing. The reveal. Okay, so the reveal roadmap. Let me pull it up. The roadmap. Roadmap reveal. No, that's just the cover. No, that's the whole thing. Is it? Let me see. Oh, no, that's my video I made for TikTok. All right, James, I'm gonna check you out, man. Appreciate you. Where we at? Oh, I know where I'm supposed to be at. Okay, here we go. Okay, so here's the where is it at? Boop. Let me add it on there. Add Windows capture. Okay. But and we're gonna bring it down a little bit. Okay. So let's see. So here's the 2K commercial, right? It looks good. It looks real good. Let me turn it down. Jesus. Is that better? Hello. Can y'all still rocking with me? Y'all can't. I'm gonna have to turn it.
Welcome back to our NBA
Okay.
2K stream.
Can y'all hear that?
Or if today is your first time, glad to
Okay. What's up, Evan?
We saw the news. We do have new Twitch drops.
New Twitch drops.
That you can watch these first few Road to 2K26 streams and earn a locker code for NBA 2K25.
Okay, so the first stream, I watched it this morning, guys, and so the stream wasn't even 45 minutes, or I think it was like 44 minutes and some change. So what's supposed to happen is every time they do a drop or they do a reveal, that's when you start to accumulate your watch time. So your watch time is not going to be just for one stream. It's not. So it's going to be throughout the coming months. We'll get those dates in a little bit as we watch the video. But yeah, so don't worry about these Twitch drops. Trying to knock it out in one stream, because none of the streams going to be 2 hours. I promise you. 2K never streams for 2 hours unless it's like a 2K League or some kind of special event. Outside of that, they're not streaming 2 hours for no, just so you can get your 100 overall card. Like, but they'll get it out there. They'll make sure you get it, but make sure you have an opportunity to get it. But yeah, so it's gonna be throughout the coming month and a half, 2 months. As soon as I push play, all right.
There's 2 tiers of rewards.
Yeah, so we got that.
We know that after the cover athletes and after the pre-order code,
There's some Dead Space, right? So gameplay first off rip gameplay.
right into it then. I hope everybody is paying attention because we are going to start off with a big topic.
Can y'all hear that?
One that I know many in the community have shared a lot on. It's been a very hot topic this year indeed. So today, what we want to share is that one of the dev team's themes
Y'all can't even hear it, huh?
skill-based gameplay experience where you feel more in control and you feel that what you're doing on the sticks on the controller is more reflected by what you're seeing on your screen. And that is an overall theme, so you're going to feel it across shot outcomes, blocks,
Okay, is that better?
loose balls, rebounds, and more across just how gameplay feels this year. Now, Stacks, I know we can't leave the community here with a broad theme and no details, so
Okay.
there are a couple things that we can say today, so listen closely.
All right, so
First one, higher
so they're not gonna say a bunch of stuff. They're just gonna give us a little taste. You know what I mean? Just a little teaser. That's all it is today. That's all it is. It's nothing crazy, nothing fancy. Just a quick little boom, boom, boom. This is what we got planned. We got some big news coming for you. So that's pretty much all it is. So yeah. So that's it.
difficulties are going to play with green or miss jump shot timing. Now, when we say higher difficulties, that includes most competitive multiplayer modes that many of you all play. So in those modes, you're not going to see early or late releases going in on those difficulties, which I think is a very welcome news to many of you.
Okay. So what that means is proving ground, stage, the ante up, you know what I mean? It's going to be strictly green or miss. There's no RNG. There's no you may make it, you may not. It's strictly green or miss, and that is it. You are out of luck if you cannot green your shots, right? There is no point in you getting into these game modes if you are not a good player. They're leaving a lot of room open for casuals, so that's really good as well because I don't consider myself comp, but I'm not casual. I'm kind of in between, closer to casual than I am to comp, I guess you'd say. Yeah. But by no means am I saying I'm comp, but I am better than the average casual, but I'm still a casual. Don't get it twisted. So yeah, so that's exactly what that means. The only thing I have questions on is the events. The events should be, if this is what they're talking about, should be green or miss is what they're saying. Hopefully these events, but at the same time, if you're doing these events, you kind of want casuals to play it because casuals make up majority of your fan base. So, oh jeez. I'm dying, chat. Oh, okay. So that's exactly what that is. Yeah. So if you guys got any questions about that, yeah, that's what that's gonna be. So, where was I? Oh, the event. So, like I said, the events is probably the only thing that I have questions on that I am worried about.
Second thing, the shot meters and the dunk meters are both going to show you your green windows in 2K26. That was a point of feedback that came up a lot, and even
And that
as
is
the year went
refreshing.
on, I kept
That is
seeing
refreshing.
That many weren't getting used to the new 2K25 shot meters, especially slashers. Gave that feedback a lot. So
Yeah, because that's refreshing because like the past this year has been really weird because like you got the arrow, you don't know when to let the arrow go. Is it before it hits the line? Is it as it hits the line? You know what I mean? It's been a weird year for slashers, especially for me because all of 2K24 I was a slasher because I couldn't shoot. I wasn't that good, but I had to learn to shoot, and I shoot pretty well now. It took a while, it took a little bit of practice, but I finally got it down.
in 2K26, the meters are going to have the green windows.
So it's nonstop meters for layups and dunks.
One more thing here. Layup timing is going to be permanently enabled in multiplayer mode. That means you're not going to be seeing real player percentage layups go over you anymore with someone that's just tapping a button. All the layups need to be timed in those modes.
Okay, so I'm glad they put this in here because there's a lot of times where people are saying, oh, I should have made that layup. Well, you let 2K decide whether you were going to make the layup or not. So you really letting RNG take over the game. So if you sitting there saying that you pretty much not playing the game, you pretty much hoping that 2K lets you make a shot, right? So thank goodness they make you time your layups. I time my layups regardless. I've been timing my layups probably since season 2. I just found it a lot easier. Like I hated missing wide open layups for no reason. But they did fix this as well. If you guys have any questions about that.
But those of you who are newer to the game, we do want to clarify that you shouldn't think that you aren't going to be able to make a layup anymore. Because this is not meant to make it really hard for you to make your open layups, but rather to separate the really good finishers from the weaker ones, and definitely to make sure that there's more skill involved.
So
those are the three things
they're
that we have to
promoting
share
a skill
gameplay for
gap.
now.
They want there
Leader
to
missed
they
shot
want it
timing,
to be a skill gap.
green windows on the shot meter and dunk meter, and layup timing being enabled. So hopefully those are all good news to you. I see the chat is happy, it seems. It seems like they are. And there is a lot more that we will be sharing later when we do our full gameplay breakdown. But for now, you'll have to be patient, and the details will come here before you know it.
Yeah, and those all sound like things that, throughout the year the community was talking about, and changes that they wanted to see be made. So it's good that we're finally getting those things in 2K26. With that being said, just a reminder for you guys too, the full gameplay reveal will be the week of July 28th. All right, so keep that in mind.
So July 28th. Let me move mine. July 28th. July 28th is going to be the reveal week. It's not going to be the reveal day, right? So July 28th is when they start to reveal the gameplay footage. When they start to reveal tweaks that they made to gameplay, additions they made to gameplay, things they took out, stuff like that. So how the game's going to flow, what do you call the animation, the pro animations, right? So they're gonna pro play, all that stuff. They're gonna address that the week of the 28th, not on the 28th, but once the 28th hits, anytime within that time frame till the next drop, which would probably be August 4th or 5th, I think it was, if I remember correctly. But we'll see those dates.
This is just a small sneak peek. The week of July 28th, more gameplay details will be out.
And I feel like they're gonna feed it to us
So one last thing.
bite by bite. They're not gonna give it all
Mike
to
is
us
not
at
going to
once.
be answering questions today. I know you all love hearing from him, but he is a very, very busy guy right now.
So at the
He
time
and
of
his
this,
whole
Mike
team,
Wang
the
has
whole dev
tweeted
team
out
are working on
for the
the
first
game
time
to
since
be ready for
December, I think it
you all.
was.
So we're gonna wait until
This first time he
after the
tweeted,
reveal of these modes
but
and
he didn't say
gameplay
much.
to answer
He
any
just let everybody know he was
questions. Mike is not
alive.
gonna
That's
be
it.
answering questions today. Don't blame him. Let the man work. He is very busy right now. He and his entire team are working on finishing 2K26 for you all. With that said,
Sir,
what is
so-
next, Dax?
Yes, sir. Most anticipated, maybe not most anticipated, but highly anticipated. We're going to be talking a little bit about the My Player Builder. All right. I know a lot of people want to hear about that. And first, we got Build with New Insights. Really wonder what that means, Evan. Break it down for us.
All right, let's explain this a little bit. So, obviously, one of the first things many of you do in 2K is you go into the builder and you experiment, right? That is such an important part of every 2K for you. And the dev team has taken time to add more previews and more quality of life improvements to that process. So there's going to be multiple things that we can talk about later, but one example that we can share today of what that might mean is a nice little addition that you can now preview the body types that you'll be able to unlock right from inside the builder.
See, and that's cool though, because like a lot of times you make a build and it's like, all right, I put my weight up, but I can't get that muscular build, so I got to put my strength up so now I can get a rip build instead of just a muscular build or a burly build, like, you know what I mean? So, and that was kind of frustrating, but at least hopefully now that eliminates you spending all the time in the builder just to have to come back and remake a build just because your Michael Jordan build looks like Slender Man, you know what I mean?
Because I've seen many people make a build, they save it, then they go and check the body types, and then if it doesn't have the ones they want, they back out, tweak it a little bit, check again, and repeat and repeat, repeat. That's kind of time consuming. So you will not have to do that anymore. You will be able to see the body types before you are done with your build. And that is just one example of some of the improvements to the builder, some of the quality of life upgrades that we're going to talk about more later in the summer.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So another one that I see here, staying on the topic of the My Player Builder, is fresh playstyles year round. Okay, let's talk about that a little bit. Fresh playstyles.
Yeah, so of all the feedback this year, it has been consistent that many people in the community love Capbreaker, right? In case you weren't locked into 2K25, you don't know what that is, what Capbreakers do is they allow you to improve your build even after you finish making it. So you can make the attributes even better, and then that unlocks the badges and animations, and then your build continues to stay fresh. So, today, we can confirm that Cap Breakers will be back in 2K26, and there will also be other new ways to improve your builds and earn those Cap Breakers that we're going to talk about.
Okay, so the main way that they would use the cap breakers was they put it in a pro pass, so that way you have to buy the pro pass and you could unlock it that way, right? Get to level 40, it makes people purchase the pro pass, it makes people grind the pro pass. So that's how they would do that. But what he did say was there's other ways to improve your players and get listen.
Animations, and then your build continues to stay fresh.
So there's other ways to get
we can confirm
improve
that
your
Cap
player,
Breakers will be back in
and you can get
2026,
cap breakers.
and there will also be other new ways to improve your builds and earn those cap
And
breakers
earn cap
that we're
breakers,
gonna
right?
talk about.
So you can improve your
The other
build
thing that I
and
saw
earn
positive
cap
feedback
breakers in a
on this
different way.
year
So
was the takeover system.
that is a little confusing because now you're like, okay, so is there other ways to get cap breakers? Probably the same way we had before, where it's just like, you know, you get the starter 3, then you get the veteran 2, legend 1, or vet 5, legend 1, whatever it is, right? That you get those cap breakers for. So those are probably going to still stay. You're probably also going to get I don't know. I feel like they added something to the builder where maybe if you play my career or if you do certain things, you can improve your player. Maybe you might get a cap breaker that way, or they might even just reward you temporary stats outside of takeover, right? But he about to hit on takeover right now.
Where you have 5 levels that heat up automatically, you don't need to activate it manually, and then a takeover ability at level 5. That system at its core is back, but it is more in depth now.
Okay,
There
so
are some new
cap
mechanics,
breakers
and the
are in
progression
depth.
is also streamlined. So unlocking takeovers and the pure amount of takeovers and special abilities or takeover abilities, that is not going to be as intimidating anymore in 2K26.
Okay,
So,
thank goodness, because a
we're
lot
gonna
of times
talk
you
about
grind out,
takeover
you
and
got to
cap breakers
grind out a
for now.
takeover just to
They
use
are
it,
back,
right? And then it's
and
just
they are
like,
much
why would I grind out another takeover when I can just use the one I already unlocked, right? But it's that was an annoying part
As we keep
for
things
takeover.
moving, I think this right here was something again that the community will talk about throughout the life cycle of like any 2K game, and it's my player build diversity. So yeah, well, what are we talking about there?
Yeah, so build diversity is really important, and the dev team has been working hard to ensure that whether you have a short build, a tall build, or somewhere in between, that there are ways that you can be effective on the court. So when we get to the full 2K26 builder reveal, or when some of our creators have their hands on the builder later in the summer, you will hopefully notice some of the changes that are striving to hit that goal of build diversity. But that is it for my player for now. There are many, many more details that we just can't share today. I'm excited for what's coming up, though.
Yeah, man, I see this little sneak peek right here for me, just as someone that's a fan of the game, makes me really excited, and I definitely want to hear the rest of it. But just a reminder again for everybody in the chat, the full My Player Builder reveal will be the week of August 4th. So put that on your calendar. If you're looking forward to that, week of August 4th will be the full My Player Builder reveal. With that being said, next up is my team. So all of my team fans, lock in. And we starting out with Triple Threat Park. What do we have going on there?
Well, Triple Threat Park is back. It has been a very fun first year in 2K25. And look,
Triple
I
Threat
know
Park is
Arc
actually
not
fun,
something
but
many
the
mindset players are
gameplay
used to.
feels
But as the year has gone
different
on,
than
I've
if
seen
you
a
were
lot
to
of
play
streams where people are squatting up with
my
some
career, right?
friends,
You playing my
they're really
career
having fun
in a park, you playing in a park, it's
And
different.
even if you
It's a
don't play
totally
my
different
team,
feel,
let's say you're
different
my career player, you
timing
spend all
on
year
your
running the
player.
same
It just
4 or
feels like
5
it's
builds.
delayed. The
Jump
lag
into
there is a
Triple
little
Threat
bit
Park right
more.
now, there are so many my team cards you can pretty easily
But I
get.
feel like if they
The only
tightened up
one
those
is one
mechanics and
co-op,
made
and
it
that's
closer to
basically
my
the
player
park with
or
NBA
with your
players.
my
So,
career, I think it'd be a lot
I
better.
even saw someone last week.
Or maybe it's
They
just because
hit
I'm
level
used to
40
playing my
almost
career.
every season in my career, and they posted how they realized that they've also earned a ton of powerful My Team cards at the same time without even knowing it. So because of that, they were kind of able to jump into Park right away with some My Team friends. But anyways, that is enough about 2K25. That's just my view on Triple Threat Park, or 2K26, which is what you guys want to know about. When we do get to the full My Team reveal, there's a couple things you can look forward to us talking about. First, there is a new location for the Triple Threat Park. So the rooftop has been awesome, but we do have a different vibe this year to keep things fresh. there are also new ways to play with or against other people in the park. So you can squad up with your +1, play new formats that I'm not going
Okay,
to spoil today,
and
but I will say I have
that's what I hope they do fix is the matchmaking process. It takes forever for you to get into a game. From the time you log into a game, from the time you get into a match, right? So say you go to the theater, or even if you go to the park, right? If you just go to the park and you try to get on, you gotta log into the game. You gotta exit out of all of the ads. Once you get out of all the ads, then you select your player. Then you gotta go through select your my player. Select your my player. Then you gotta load into the game. Once you load into the city, now you gotta walk from the city into the park. Now you gotta walk into the park, wait for that to load. That loads up, you get into the park. You walk to the park. Now you gotta find a dot to stand on. Now if there's no dot to stand on, you gotta wait for another dot to stand on. So once the next game gets on, you can finally get on a dot to stand on. Finally get on a game. Then you gotta wait for that game to finish, and then you gotta hope you don't lose that game because especially if you're coming in solo, you gotta wait for the solo squad that jumped on this damn dots outside of a party. They just met up on a dots and like, all right, everybody hurry up, jump on a dot. So now you gotta play a squad with a bunch of randoms while you sitting there at a 99. You gotta play with an 86 overall and a 92 overall. While you're facing up, you're playing up against a lock, a sharpshooter, and a fucking rebounding popper. You know what I mean? Like it's annoying. So these dudes will get on meta builds and then get into random park, right? And that's just annoying. There's no way that should even be allowed. That should not happen. So if they made the matchmaking process similar to theater mode, where the only way you get in as a solo is you go in solo and they randomly throw you somewhere, or you get in as a squad and they match you up against squads. That's the only way I could see them avoiding that. But outside of that, playing solo, playing with randoms, it's rough because sometimes it's not even the randoms, right? It's like situations like that where in a random situation, you'll find a squad that'll try to manipulate their way into the solo queue just so they can whoop up on randoms because they can't play other squads, right? It's just the way it is, and that sucks.
seen them be requested often by the community. So, little hint for you there. Lastly, in the park, there have been changes to rewarding with community feedback in mind so that you can earn even more rewards throughout the Triple Threat Park, but we're also going to share more on that in a couple weeks.
And rewarding is always an issue for 2K. Like, we get so used to 2K for Call of Duty and Fortnite where you can show off, you know, your skins, your equipment, stuff like that, your banners, your emblems, your logos, right?
Yes.
2K doesn't have that. They just give everyone the same banners. There's no point in even having a banner because you can't even show
One
off.
of the biggest points of my team feedback that we've heard
Unless you win one of those events and you just got that one, you know what I mean? But if you win one event, you're probably going to win another event. So it's just, it's one of those, the same people winning out all the time.
You probably couldn't consistently participate, right? We get that. So in 2K26, the dev team has worked on making King of the Court more accessible. Now it is going to take place across the entire weekend to give you more opportunity to play. But the other thing about King of the Court is a very, very big one.
They're giving away
In
money.
addition to competing for big amounts of VC, the winner across PlayStation 5 and Xbox each weekend is also going to be competing for a cash prize of $10,000. So, we are going to share more details about all of that, but in short, there will be a
What's
cash
Stacks
prize
doing?
for King of the Court winners.
Was
in
Stacks
my
praying
team
for
on
that
the
10K?
weekends. I am very, very excited for this. I hope our competitive community feels similarly.
What was Stacks doing?
You know, my team on the competing for big amounts of
Look at Stacks, look at
VC.
Stacks. Watch it, watch
The
it.
winner across PlayStation 5 and Xbox each weekend is also going to be competing for a cash prize of $10,000.
Watch it.
So, we are going to share more details about all of
And
that.
he said, "Whoo,"
but
and then
in
he
short,
started praying,
there
like,
will
"Come
be a
on,
cash
baby.
prize
Give me the
for King
money."
of the Court winners in my team on the weekends.
Think
I
Stacks
am
gonna try
very,
and
very
win
excited
King
for
of the
this.
Court?
I hope our competitive community feels similarly. You know, even great streams, some great videos on the weekends from the King of the Court this year.
Man,
Yeah, so we might have to hit up
shout
King
out
of the
to
Court this
AT&T.
one.
You know what I'm saying? Bringing the heat for NBA 2K26. We really do appreciate it. But it is time to move on. Just remember, the full My Team reveal will be the week of August
You might have
11th.
to hit it
If you're a
up.
My Team fan, looking to hear more about King of the Court, shout out to AT&T. Keep that on your calendar. The week of August 11th.
August 11, chat.
Real quick, by the way, one more thing here. Don't forget
August 11.
there is a 2K26 challenge that's available right now in 2K25. So you have to use SGAs and Mellows cards. And by the way, if you don't have those cards, you can get them with that locker code right there on the right side of your
Make sure
screen.
y'all put in this
And if
locker
you
code.
complete that
It's free
challenge, you get
100.
not only an invincible Devin Booker,
And you can play the triple
2K25,
threat part.
but you also get a
Give it a
Series
shot,
1
start
option pack
practicing.
and a mystery special
And then we
pack
get 2 packs for
waiting you
2K26
in
whenever it come through.
2K26.
On
So
top
we will tell
of
you a bit more
what we
about
getting
that special pack
for
is when we do the My Team Courtside Reports.
watching the live
I
stream.
don't think I've seen anybody make an accurate prediction yet, but at the same time, I can't see everything. So just wanted to make sure that you guys do that challenge so that you're not passing up on some extra rewards for 2K26. That is it for my team. What do you have next, Stacks?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Personally, my favorite mode. We're going to be talking about my career. And what do I see here, Evan? Does it say a new My Career storyline?
Uh-oh.
Is that what we get in here?
Yes, you are correct.
So these are always cool because I don't think 2K's really done a great job at promoting their My Career storylines, but they've never done a bad job either. So their storylines are always, man, it's pretty cool. It's alright, you know, it's cool. But there was no year where it was, this is peak story right here, right? So I just feel like for this part, I think it's more preference. If this is your thing, it's your thing. If it's not, I don't know what to tell you.
So my career is a really important mode to
But
us because
I always
so
play
many
my
people
career to
love
start off
playing
with
your
just to
NBA
get
career.
my
Makes sense, right?
get
You
used to the
wanna make
game, try to get my
yourself a really
timings
good
down,
team,
test
which
out
is
my
fine.
player.
So
You know what I
this
mean?
year,
Just
the
kind of
dev
get it out
team
the
has
way.
spent time building out a full prelude story that is called Out of Bound. Title of it. Now, we're not going to spoil how the story goes, of course, but what we can say is that there are now more consequences to the story games and your choices. So, for example, if you've got a game and your goal is to outshine your opponent, but you fail, your agent might not be able to get you the best opportunities because you didn't pass those objectives. So it makes things more interesting, and personally, every year, I still start with my career for at least a few hours before I go into multiplayer in the city and all
Yeah,
that.
I do the
So
same thing,
I'm
Evan.
excited to play through this Out of Bounds storyline myself. Hope you guys are as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Try to rank up my
Also,
dude,
where
you know what I
will
mean?
you
Try to get him
go
as
in
close
the
to 99
NBA
as
draft?
possible.
It look like the draft is back.
Well, ultimately, you want to get drafted to the NBA, right? I don't think that's a spoiler. I can say that. The draft is also an area in my career where I've seen brought up a lot in feedback because it seems like half the community wants to get drafted and half want to pick their team so that they can go to the Lakers, play with LeBron and Luka. Or if you're like Stacks, picking the Knicks, of course, playing with Brunson.
This is where I think like they're coming into like this year how that one kid was like, I'm not playing for Utah, I'm not playing for this team. If they draft me, I'm not playing. I think this is where that's coming in. I think, and it's going to start to affect your career as you progress into the career. Teams may not want you. They may not want you. There's certain things you may not get. You may get some labels put on you. And I feel like this is where they would have had an opportunity to kind of build off of your my player, right? So like say, because sometimes, okay, you got a 99 build, another dude's got a 99 build. But what should determine the difference between those 99, or say like builds, I mean rebounds, right? So you got one with a defensive 99 rebound, another with a defensive 99 rebound. Now what they should add to make it more dynamic is if you play my career and your style of play, you're just a dog on the defensive end, maybe you can get like a hustle badge or, you know, a tendency to fight harder for rebounds compared to someone who has a 99 rebound who just made the build and just was like, all right, I'm gonna just jump in the game. So now he's just all willy-nilly jumping up, you know, just jumping up for the rebound. But here you are coming in, you flying for the rebound, you fighting for you hustling, and that's what you portrayed on your my career. I feel like they should add that on there. Like add little challenges to develop tendencies and styles of play for your my players so that way you can unlock not necessarily animations, but more play styles, right? So maybe, you know, sometimes you jump for the ball off of a rebound and your player just jumps straight up. Like jump towards the ball, like head towards the ball, you know, take a better route, you know, instead of he just jump straight up and the ball is just going over his head. or like the ball's going in the opposite direction and he doesn't even try to, oh, let me head that way. He just jumps straight up and the ball's going the other way. So I feel like they should add that, or they should add that. I think they should. That'll add just a different dynamic to my career.
Over there. But our dev team has done the best of both worlds in 2K26. So this year, you can be drafted based on your performance and how well you fit each team, or you could also bet on yourself. You can pick a team to do a private workout for and try to convince them to draft you instead. So the decision is up to you whether you want to get drafted or pick your team. And I think it's a pretty nice solution to that feedback where we saw both ends, people who wanted to get drafted and people who wanted to pick their team. Now you can do what you want.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Not gonna lie, I like that. Just a reminder: the full My Career reveal will be the week of August 18th.
So August
I'm excited
18th,
for that one personally.
my
That's
career
probably
going down.
the one I'm waiting for the most. But next up, we got My NBA, and we also have. And when I heard about this, I thought this was really cool because I always thought about why this isn't in the game. Now it's in the game. We got dynamic banners.
Yes, so what does that mean? When teams win championships, they obviously get to hang a banger up, right? Our cover athletes, Thunder Squad, they're about to do that in a few months. Well now, as you win titles, you will see championship banners actually live in your home arena going forward. So the dev team put a lot of love into this feature. They have carved out a dedicated section in each arena for these banners. And as you play out your franchises, you are going to see all the years of championships hung up there, and the presentation is going to spotlight it to show the hopefully many years of championships you've earned. If you can't win one, you're not going to get one, but hopefully you have many years of
Okay, I mean that's a little cool addition, especially for those who played my career or like the you know the my GM modes. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's a good addition for them.
We also
for those
have
guys.
more customization with unranked My GM.
Unranked my GM.
So last year, we brought back.
Does this mean they're adding a ranked my GM?
We announced it during our Q&As. People were asking about an unranked option. So
Is there a ranked GM mode?
But this year we do have that, and in the unranked version of my GM, you have a lot more freedom.
I don't know, man.
You can import.
I don't play my GM like that.
Draft classes, essentially, really fine-tune your settings. So last year, if you thought my GM looked cool, you were interested, but you got turned off by the lack of customization, we think you'll really like this one.
Perfect. And the full My NBA review.
And that's
will
also
be the
a week of August 18.
18. And lastly, but certainly not least, we have the city. Let's dive in there. See, we got some heat.
City's always been an issue.
I see many people in the chat have been asking us to get to this. Hurry up and hurry up. Well, we are going to talk about the city a little bit. And I did want to talk about it first a little bit in general. Because in years past, we've heard the feedback about how intimidating the city was. Right, we talked about this before, and 2K25 was a huge step to actioning on that feedback. I personally noticed it right away this past year, and I think much of the community did as well. Now, we want to get you on the court faster, so this year in 2K26, without showing you the city, because we can't do that just yet, how I would describe it is, it's even more intimate, it's even more accessible, and you can get wherever you want to go really quickly to further build on that big shift last year. So if you've heard the words the city come up before and you thought about that really big map with streets and turns everywhere, that is not how the city is now, and I think you're going to really like the one in 2K26.
And I feel like that was like, I mentioned that earlier about how it takes forever just to get into a match. I just want to get on, I just want to ball, I just want to hoop, you know what I mean? I'm a stay-at-home dad, I got to get my games in while my daughter's napping. Like, I just want to make it happen, that's it.
All of you in the community love to flex. When we get into August, something you can expect to hear about are multiple new ways of how we're putting a spotlight on players. One that we thought we would be cool to talk about today, as an example, it's not too big of a spoiler, is our new mode leaderboards. So these rank players by the most wins in places like the theater and the rec. And the cool thing is, the top player each...
So by him saying this, that confirms that theater and rec will be back, that's for sure. Theater mode's not going anywhere. Just because he said more ways to flex, you know, there'll be a leaderboard for the theater or the rec, right?
Day is going to have a big 12-foot statue of their My Player built outside of that mode's building. So if you are the #1 player that day, whenever somebody walks in, you are going to be looking down on them, kind of intimidating them.
But what if you play in squads and your squad is a #1 team and all of y'all got wins like that? How do they do the tiebreaker? Is it gonna be teammate grade?
So that is just one example. We can't talk about the other new additions here just yet, but you will hear more very soon later in the summer. There is one more very cool thing though, Stacks, that I have been waiting to talk about.
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah. So this one right here, in terms of people that play in the park and stuff like that, this is probably the #1 thing. And I noticed like a theme throughout this thing is a lot of community feedback. But it says right here, the park gets a makeover. Evan, we need to know what's going on with this.
Yeah, we
All
need to
right,
know.
so we're
We
gonna
need to
end on
know.
one that I think many of you will be really, really happy.
My seat go back.
Park is getting a lot of love in 2K26, and
can't
we
lean
want to
back.
call out now
How my chair
that
don't lean back?
new designs are focused on more natural and more grounded environments. Because the feedback about what direction many of you want to see the park environments go in, that has been heard. So this year you can expect to see designs like ones that are more similar to courts that maybe you might see in the real world. Maybe in your cities or neighborhoods, you might see courts like these. And one more thing here on visuals is that there are also new lighting improvements and a fixed time of day. The benefit of that is that it should reduce the amount of harsh shade and harsh sunlight that you may have noticed in the past.
That's good because the lighting has always
Both
been
of those
awful.
things, I am sure, are very welcome news. I keep seeing those brought up. So, Stacks, I hope the community is happy with them. I see a lot of W's in the chat. That is something that we've been waiting to say for a while, that the scenery in the parks is going to be more natural and more grounded, and the lighting improvements should make the harsh shade and the harsh sunlight a little bit more accessible for you all, less of a bother when you are playing. Stacks, that is going to do it for our sneak peek. I think the community got some nice little information here. What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. And just keep in mind, guys, all of what we spoke about, what Evan spoke about today, is just a sneak peek, right? We're going to get deeper into all of these things and the dates that we mentioned. And as far as the park goes or the city goes, the full reveal will be the week of August 25th. So keep that
So
in
August
mind.
25th
More
will
news
be
to come
the icing on the cake.
happening. But
That's the cap.
I feel like we got a lot
And they're gonna
interesting
ride
things
out,
here, a lot of great news
for the next
here.
4 days after that until early release.
Career.
Early release is the 29th, I believe.
My NBA, we
Um,
talked about a lot of things
Yeah,
here.
and then the
And
actual
I
release
really
is September
love
4th.
the
So
fact that a lot of this stuff was
up
like
until
community
August
feedback.
20, from the 25th to the 29th is when we'll
Shout out to
get
the
the last
community,
of the information.
always submitting
Is
that
we'll get
feedback and,
everything else.
you know,
Everything
letting
else
these
gonna be
guys
out the
know
way.
exactly
So
what you want. And
yeah.
shout out to 2K as well for actually taking the time and implementing some of the stuff in the game too.
Exactly. Shout out to our dev team who's been working on that, on all these features and many more that we are going to talk about very soon. In case you missed any of this, the VOD will be up.
Okay. So that's it. We're done with that. Boop. 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 We'll get rid of that. Boop. 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 Okay.
NBA 2K
Oh,
just
Brother
dropped some
John.
inside news on NBA 2K26. So in this video, I'm gonna show you my live reaction to it on
And
Twitch
subscribe.
of 2K dropping.
Follow Brother Jones
the
if y'all
little
ain't follow
sneak
Brother
peek
Jones. Brother
of
Jones
all
plays
NBA
2K. He's a good 2K
stuff, man. Make sure you watch
YouTuber.
the
He's a
full
good
video so you don't
commentator.
miss none of the sneaks and the
He's got a lot of good
leaks.
information. He's
Let's
pretty
get
funny too.
to it.
So
Do a rapid
make sure you guys follow
recap
Brother
of
Jones.
the
His is YouTube
First
down
up,
below.
We revealed our NBA 2K26 cover athletes,
Let
No
me
doubt.
MVP,
Leave
and also
no
Finals
doubt.
MVP.
copy
On
link.
the Standard Edition, Angel Reese on the WNBA Edition,
Paste.
and the Superstar Edition.
Follow Brother Jones.
Carmelo Anthony. I have
Follow
seen a
Brother
lot of people
Jones.
out there who very, very much love this cover, including someone who is
Follow
will be
Brother
joining us
Jones if you
very
haven't,
shortly,
man.
that you might be able to guess who I'm talking about, but he will be here in just a second.
Ooh,
But maybe the biggest news of the week, for by community feedback, that
he back.
yeah, so Stacks just got a sneak peek into it then. I hope
Oh.
everybody is paying
So if y'all didn't know, Stacks got fired, but he's back though.
attention because we are things that we can say today. So listen close. And we do want to clarify that you shouldn't think that you aren't going to be able to make a layup anymore. Because this is not meant to make it really, definitely to make sure that there is a lot.
You know, throughout the year, the community. This was just a small
Gameplay
sneak
July
peek.
28th, y'all.
Week of July 28th.
Is a very, very
That means
I just want to hear what he got to say about
part
it.
of, they save it about more later.
Didn't
in
we
the summer.
already have that like a few years ago?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So
I
another
feel
one
like the
that
quality.
I see
Why the
here.
quality didn't
Why is
bring
that even
downstairs?
tied
on
to the
topic
workout
of
to
the
begin
My
with?
Player
happening?
Builder is fresh play styles year round.
Huh?
Let's talk about that a little bit. Fresh play styles.
Oh no.
Yeah, so of all the feedback this, right, To improve your build unlocks the bad we can confirm to improve your thing that I saw that system, and the progression is also streamlined. Takeover abilities. We're gonna talk about take.
Don't worry, we're gonna summarize all.
Moving out the verse.
Yeah, whether you on the court. Your hands on the
Okay, he just doing what I did, so he
You'll
really ain't
hopefully
doing
notice
nothing
some of the
crazy.
changes that are striving to hit that goal
Uh,
of build diversity.
Green or miss. That's
You wanna talk about Brute?
off with the rollout schedule, because even on the image that they gave us, it was looking a little bit. It was very hard.
If
to
y'all
make
ain't
out,
follow
but I
Brute,
got 20.
Brute's a good one too.
Trust
I
your
watch a
boy,
lot of
But
Brute.
anyway,
Brute has a lot of good
when it comes to
information,
gameplay
man.
reveal,
Brute spits
we
out some
expect it
2K,
on the week of
2K
July
knowledge.
20th, and they never do specific date. They always say the week of. By the way, when it comes to my player builder news, we get in the week of August 4th. My team
Follow
news
Brute.
the week of August 11th.
Follow
My
Brute.
news we get in the week of August 18th.
Follow
as
Brute.
well as my NBA news week of August 18th as well. And the biggest news that I saw so far was the city news. We should expect it on the week of August 25th. We're gonna dive into why I think that's the biggest news so far, especially for my career type players outside of new storylines. But anyways,
Alright.
they did drop a lot of information, of course. Gameplay changes. They were speaking about rewarding skill-based gameplay, something that we've been hearing for years. Also, higher difficulty game modes won't be seeing whites going in at all. It will be green or miss. That's still left open for the park and the rec and even the theater, seeing a lot of whites going in, by the way. We got to talk about that as well. And of course, layup timing will be permanently equipped. No more real player percentage when it comes to layup. Now, of course, I got a clip
Okay.
of Evan kind of breaking it down here, so I want y'all to check this out.
Today, on this
So we've seen that.
on those going to even as not definitely
Boop, boop.
Very important in NBA 2K26. For example, making taller point guards more viable.
So because they say, just because they're adding the layup meter, you have to time your layup. They're saying that there's no RNG. There will still be RNG, or what people like to call RNG, where things don't happen at will. They happen at random, right? So certain animations will happen just because it's just at the time the AI sends whatever to the system, and that's the animation you get, right? So sometimes you'll get a delayed shot animation. You think you're just doing a quick catch and shoot, and it's not a quick catch and shoot. Sometimes it might be a little bobble before you catch, and it throws your timing all off. So I think those are still be in the game. The timing on your jump shots, I want to say that I don't think 2K is going away from the same timing you have for your three-pointer in the corner is going to be the same timing you have for your mid-range at the elbow. I think the timing's going to be different, and I think a lot of people consider that RNG, but it's not RNG, man. That's just the way it is. Like, your shot timing at the three-point line is not going to be the same shot timing you have at the elbow 15 feet out, right? It's just not the way it is. It's a different timing. It's a different jump shot, right? I mean, it's rare that you find jump shots that are that consistent all the time. You're jumping on the move. You're jumping off the dribble. You're jumping from a set shot. You know what I mean? It changes from time to time, and I think that's where the skill gap should also come in, is where you identify what your player is doing and you adjust your timing according to that, as opposed to just having one set jump timing for all your jump shots, and no matter who's in front of you, no matter what, you just make all your shots. There's no change in that. And I feel like that's unrealistic, and that just makes the game boring, because now if I'm gonna just sit there and if someone can just sit there and just time all the jump shots, then there's no point in playing defense, and that makes the game unplayable. You can't play a broken game if both sides aren't balanced. So, like, for example, Superman. Superman is so overpowered, his movies are boring. They cannot make a good Superman movie just because no one can beat him. He is too good. It makes for a boring movie because there's no balance. The Incredible Hulk. His movies are cool because he's the Hulk, not because it's balanced. He cannot be beat. They somehow bring him to the brink, and then he ends up winning. The Hulk cannot lose. The Avengers are so overpowered with the Hulk, They had to make the Hulk disappear for a couple of movies before they brought him back. That's how overpowered he is. If they have the Hulk, they win every fight. From the first Avengers, that was boom, broke the ice. The Hulk is the main character, right? And he is the most powerful character. So for that to happen, it makes for bad balance. If you don't have balance on defense, the game becomes broken on offense, and now everyone's a dribble god and everyone can shoot. And that just makes for a horrible game. Now everybody's not even making defense because there's no point in making defensive builds because they're just going to make their shots anyway because it's just a set time. And that kind of makes for a boring shot. So I kind of feel like those kind of things should stay in the game.
As well. Anyways, let's check out this clip from Evan kind of breaking down as well.
A nice little addition that you can now preview the body types. That's kind of turned those manually much.
Even switching on certain builds. So I just want that to come back to the game, in my opinion. That could just be a boy fruit. But again, this is one of the things I'm actually excited to see how they plan on executing this. We're gonna have to wait and see. Be bringing some new locations. Me personally, I hope they stick to the old theme. For example, 2K15, 16, 17 chords. Some that we love from back in the day. It was a simpler time back then. I gotta be honest with y'all, man. So I hope that, but they did say they're changing the location and adding new ways for people to actually play together. They might be adding a 5v5. I'm putting this out there, right? Also, changing the way you receive rewards based on community feedback as well. And the one thing they spoke about when it comes to my team is the King of the Court game mode within my team.
Okay.
Within
So we're talking about King of the Court. Make some cash, man. Make sure y'all playing that King of the Court.
What you guys want to know about when we to rewarding with community feedback in mind, so that you can earn even more rewards throughout the Triple Threat Park. But we're also going to share more on that in a couple weeks. My team players, I want you to pay attention to this one because I know you're going to like it. But there's two things here to cover. One of the biggest points of my team feedback that we've heard this past year is how King of the Court was only for a few hours on Saturdays. So if you were out of the house, if you work on Saturdays, or maybe you're just in a different time zone where those 4 hours were in the middle of the night for you, and you probably couldn't consistently.
Oh, let me turn this down. I don't know if y'all can hear.
Get that. So in 2K26, the dev team has worked on making King of the Court more accessible. Now it is going to take place across the entire weekend to give you more opportunity to play. But the other thing about King of the Court is a very, very big one. Is in addition to competing for big amounts of VC, the winner across PlayStation 5 and Xbox each weekend is also going to be competing for a cash prize of $10,000.
Normally, I will wait till later in the cycle. The new storyline is called Out of
because you didn't pass those objectives.
So got that.
NBA 2K hid details for NBA 2K26 in their release poster.
This release poster, Evan dropped it and said, find the Easter eggs if you guys can. Try to see what Easter eggs you can find. And I think that's pretty cool. Because there's a lot of things in this thing that a lot of people aren't talking about and that a lot of people are talking about. So let's go ahead and figure it out.
Some Easter eggs here as well.
And we found every last one of them. And some of these are major game leaks that make me excited for NBA
J-Max cool
2K26.
too, man. Go follow
So y'all
J-Max.
make sure
I
y'all
follow
hit that
J-Max
like
on my
button. We're
other
gonna
channel.
start from the top left and work our way all the way across this post. Now first you see this Angel Reese t-shirt.
Here's
This
the
was the
J-Max.
t-shirt that was actually at her WNBA game when she was announced as the NBA 2K26 cover athlete. So this is an IRL t-shirt that was actually worn and given to fans at the arena. Now next to that we have a championship trophy and the ball over everything
championship
logo.
trophy.
Next
What
to
trophy
a
is
poster
that?
of Angel.
What trophy is that? So we got to find that out, chat. So let's see. Let's see. WNBA championship trophy. Championship trophy. Nope, that's not the WNBA championship trophy. Nope. Commissioner's Cup? Nope. That looks like the NBA MVP trophy. Right? That's the closest thing. Not the MVP. What is that? The conference? That's the conference trophy. Different NBA trophies. It's the conference trophies. The conference championship trophy. Yeah, because This new MVP trophy, Finals MVP trophy. The conference. I mean, that's the closest thing, right, chat? What else championship could it be? Gatorade League? G League? G League trophy? No, it's not the G League trophy. I don't know what trophy it could be. Maybe just a random high school trophy, probably.
Reese and a poster of the cover of the Leave No Doubt edition of NBA 2K26. Now, next to that is one of the bigger things that I think will reveal. We already know the parks are going to more realistic type of parks. And with this item that they have on here, 2K is going to bring back the chain link nets in NBA 2K26.
I don't think they're bringing chain link fences, chain link nets back, because it's not a chain link net for one, but it is an older style net, older style single rim hoop. So I mean, that does look like it could mean that they might be bringing the park back of some kind. But yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. Other than that, that's just good decoration. But they got the hand pointed to it, chat. I don't know. Oh, could it be an NCAA trophy? Men's basketball trophy? Sorry, I'm trying. No, definitely not. I forgot it looked like that. Yep, never mind. Keep it moving.
In the park. So now we're going to have more realistic parks and chain link nets too, man. Now, this is where a lot of stuff starts to come out. So first you got the MP scouting report. Now, I'm pretty sure this is before you get drafted into the NBA and you have to accomplish certain things.
Okay, so this might be part of the My Player career mode where you just got to play, and this is a scouting report probably coming out of high school, going into college, right? But at the same time, if you break it down, if you get on X, there's probably a clearer picture. The words inside of this is pretty much saying, like how I was explaining earlier about tendencies. So it's saying struggles against smaller guards, plays well against bigs, or I think down here it was like can play both sides, can play both the big and the small guard position. Gets around screens well, like stuff like that. Like, and I feel like those are the type of things that 2K needs to add to avoid the L2 cheese. The L2 cheese is just insane. So, like, what would help with that is if you had these type of tendencies where if you had a player who's a defensive menace, right? I should be able to have an Alex Caruso where I'm fighting across screens, I'm fighting around screens to play solid defense. Doesn't mean I'm gonna play solid defense, I'm gonna get around the screen every time. But majority of the time, I'm fighting through that screen and I'm winning those battles, right? And that's what makes Alex Caruso such a good defender, because not just that he can stay in front of you, he gets around those screens, he avoids screens, he's good at getting around the screens and sticking to his man. So I feel like adding tendencies like that, not just agility or, pick dodger, because pick dodger is not it. It doesn't matter if you have pick dodger, 99, legend pick dodger, because you walk into a legend brick wall and it's over with. That doesn't even exist. It doesn't even balance out. It just doesn't exist, and the legend brick wall wins every time. That legend brick wall is not going anywhere. But I feel like those types of tendencies would help with that, because now, okay, yeah, I got somebody who's agile and quick, but he's a lazy defender. And if you play My Career, you should be able to get those badges or get those tendency titles and say, hey, 2K, this is my player and he is a dog, right? And I feel like those are the things you should be able to earn through My Career
to get your draft status up. But on top of that, we actually see that NBA 2K26 seems like they changed their hot zones. Now the hot zones in this picture, you only have 4 hot zones on the 3-point line, then you have 2 inside the wings, then you have 2 short corner hot zones, and then just 1 hot zone in the paint. So NBA 2K has redid their hot zones for NBA 2K26. Now next to that, you see a scoreboard that says 26, 26, 20, 26. Now the 26, I believe, represents NBA 2K20.
That
It looks like a high school scoreboard. So it seems like we're going back to high school to start our process towards the NBA. And with that being said, you see next to it the poster that says coming week of August 18th, Out of Bounds, the My Career. Out of Bounds is the My Career storyline that we could not figure out. And I mean assuming that it's like a FIBA.
Yeah, that could just be like a FIBA, you know, medal, or just a AAU type medal coming out of college or high school. You know what I mean? Like maybe you start off in high school and you're finishing up the state championship, or you're maybe they already had the storyline that you already lost the championship or whatever it is, and then you're just going straight into an AAU tournament to get your redemption or something like that. You know what I mean? Like that could easily be something like that. So it's nothing too crazy. Or I wouldn't even be surprised it's like a street ball tournament, especially if they're trying to bring the parks back and highlight parks. What if it's more, you know, we got a 3v3 out at Rucker Park? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that could be something like that as well for this medal.
Gold medal, maybe an under 18. They might be doing a U18 FIBA tournament or something like that. But we don't quite know what it is. So if y'all know, let me know in the comment section. Now below that, I believe these are the 4 bosses for the street ball courts. You actually can kind of barely get a little glance of what the areas look like, but I believe these are the 4 head bosses that you have to defeat on the street ball courts. Now to the right of that is another big item. There is a sticker that says the city park. Now what I believe is that 2K is doing city park. Now, what I believe,
could that be?
Of course. Now, to the right.
Okay, so this could be right. Chat, listen, hear me out. So, at the surface, we think, okay, cool. This is the street ball bosses, right? Could be the street ball bosses. But what if these are affiliation leaders, huh? What if they added 2 more affiliations that you can join? And it gives you different abilities, right? This dude looks like a powerhouse. He looks like more of a skilled forward, maybe a 2 guard, maybe a point guard, right? Maybe a 2 guard. I mean, I don't know, chat. I mean, it could be, might be new affiliation bosses. Who knows? Who knows?
That is another big item. There is a sticker that says the city park. Now, what I believe is that 2K is doing away with this multi-park system, and they're just going to 1 park. So now when you load up in the city, there's only...
So it's 1 park. I feel like that's a W, because you don't have to keep loading up, and especially if you're trying to join up with somebody, you're trying to party up. You party up, and then you got to go into the park, and it's just like now he's in a separate server. You know what I mean? It's just annoying. So, like I said, the park is a dub.
Now, different type of parks too, so the parks are probably going to be changed. Now, below that, we have some stickers from different teams. And
okay, so sticker collection. I feel like this could be like a sign of there's ways to get collection, maybe emblems, maybe, right? Maybe you can earn emblems by completing certain tasks, because you don't just get a sticker collection up here, right? You don't just get random stickers. So I think it might be like some type of reward incentive.
And then to the right of that, we have...
Okay, so this is just probably a training mode or something like that, right? But this right here, chat, right here. This right here is what I'm looking at. So when I see this, I'm looking at this and I see what it is like. Initially, I see the My Team cards, right? These are, you know, Ruby, Emerald, Sapphire, all that stuff, right? But also at the same time, I see ranks that they have for My Team. So the rep rank emblems. So for My Career is different than what it is for My Team. My Team they use jewels. So these look like the jewels for the My Team. So when you rep up, this is what you get. Oh, okay. Hear me out, chat. Right? So these are the first tier, second tier, third tier, fourth tier, fifth tier. Now I feel like you have different routes that you can take, and you get different abilities on the way there. Ooh, rookie, starter, vet, legend, and then whatever's after legend, right? Number one, no life. But what if that's it, chat? What if I just cracked the code? So rookie, starter, vet, legend, and then top rank. That could be it. And then, like, depending on what route you take, maybe affiliations. Maybe they added 3 affiliations. Different affiliations give you different rewards. Ooh, and you get to pick which rewards you want. That could be cold. Unless it's like, ooh, what if they had like a spider system? You don't like, boom, you go from here, you go to here, you go to here, back up to here, right? That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
I see the GOAT badges, but I'm pretty sure these are some type of My Career badges that you get from going through the My Career storyline. Now, below the My Career board, that's where we get the Super Packs, the My Team Super Packs for NBA 2K26 and what they will look like. And when you go below that, where we get the
Is it all My Career stuff on there? It is all
But on
My
top of
Career
that, they
stuff
talked
on
in
there.
that
That
courtside
is-
report that we're
Never
going to
mind,
have
chat,
the
I might
My
be
Career
wrong.
storyline. Now,
No, but
below
even
the
still,
My
like, it
Career
would fall
board, that's
into
where
My
we get the
Career
Super
part if
Packs,
it's
the
the
My Team
tiers,
Super
right?
Packs for NBA 2K26
Rookie,
and what
starter,
they will
vet,
look like.
legend.
And when you go below that, then you get to see something interesting. Now, you see the NBA 2K17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26. Then next to it, you see an arcade machine that says start now. Now, the first theory we came out with was the NBA 2K26
I think they're
being
gonna have
an
weekly
arcade
challenges. That's
machine
it.
could
It's not
mean
gonna
that
be you can
NBA
just
2K
play
is
whatever
starting
you
to
want. I
lean
think it's
back
gonna
more
replace
towards the
the
arcade feel
the
of
go-kart mode.
basketball.
That's what I
Less
think.
sim, more
I think it's gonna replace the
arcade. A
go-kart
lot of the
mode.
community has been wanting the gameplay to be faster, and 2K has said in previous releases that they were going to have faster animations in NBA 2K26. So this could mean that the game is going more towards the arcade style. The
I mean,
other
that's
option
cool. That
is
sounds
in
cool.
previous 2Ks, you used to be able to have like a game mode inside NBA 2K. This could possibly
And
be
you still do,
NBA
and they
2K
just
giving
replace
you
it with
the
the go-kart
ability
mode.
to
That's
play
all that
NBA
is.
2K17 all the way to 2K25
And they might just have, like,
in
little
the
challenges
arcade
from those,
mode in NBA 2K26. So maybe
previous
in your
games.
My Court, you have an arcade
might do it
machine,
weekly,
and
you know
then
what I mean?
in that machine, you have access to play the older games. Now, if NBA 2K does that, that would be absolutely fire. Now, I don't know if you'll be able to play online and stuff with it, but that would be absolutely fire if they did that. Now, next to that, you have a glass jar that says Dawkins Glass. Now, for those youngins that don't know nothing about
They don't
Daryl
know,
Dawkins,
man.
Daryl
They don't know,
Dawkins actually
man.
broke 2 backboards in the NBA in like a 2 or 3 week span. So there's a glass jar with the glass of the backboard that Daryl Dawkins broke. But this could mean that you will have the ability to break glass in some type of mode in NBA 2K, whether it's in the park or even in the street ball courts, where now you can go out there and shut the house down by breaking the glass in NBA 2K26. That's an
Okay, so I think that too, because there's a lot of people on X saying that, oh, they might bring Daryl Dawkins into my team. Daryl Dawkins probably doesn't even have a contract with 2K, so they can't put him in there, and he probably refuses to be put in the game. And the way it says Dawkins, what did it say? Dawkins Glass, right? The coin term that they had was Daryl's Diamonds. So whenever he broke the glass on the backboard and it was all on the floor, it looked like diamonds, so they called it Daryl's Diamonds. So because they're not using that term and they're using Dawkins Glass, I feel like they couldn't use that term because it belongs to Daryl Dawkins. And that's the term that was coined, was Daryl's Diamonds. So because it's called
with the
Dawkins
glass
Glass,
of the
I think it
backboard
is.
that Daryl Dawkins broke.
You can't
But
be
this
able
could
to end
mean
the
that
game by
you will
breaking
have
the
the
glass.
ability to break glass in some type of mode in
Like,
NBA
especially
2K,
like
whether
the
it's
street
in
ball
the park or
court
even
where
in the street ball
shut it
courts,
down
where
meter,
now you can go out there and
rank it to
shut
shut
the
it
house
down meter,
down by
and
breaking
you
the
put
glass
a
in NBA
powerful contact dunk,
2K26.
you can
That's an
break the
absolute
break the
W
rim.
right there. That's a pretty cool thing. Now, if we move left,
Unless it's next to the arcade, chat. What if they turn 2K, the previous 2Ks, into a NBA Jam style? I'm just saying, chat. I'm just saying. Don't shoot me. I'm just throwing it out there. Because it's in the same section, right? It's all in the same vicinity. What if they arcaded the previous 2Ks, and you can go to whichever one you want and play NBA Jam style? I'm calling it right now. That's what that is. So no more go-kart mode. None. No go-kart mode. Get it out of there. We're playing NBA Jam. Who owns NBA Jam? What game studio has the rights to NBA Jam? Who owns NBA Jam? EA owns NBA Jam. So now we're not getting NBA Jam, chat. What about NBA Street? I think that's EA as well, right? Street is EA as well. Yeah, that's also EA. Maybe I'm wrong. Unless they came up with their own. I just can't see it, chat. I don't know. Outside of, being able to break glass, I mean, it is what it is.
You will see a bunch of my team cards where you see Kevin Durant, Shaquille O'Neal, Carmelo Anthony, look like LeBron James. You got a couple different Carmelo Anthony and SGA I see up there. And then next to that is a couple of Easter eggs in this. Number one, this seems to be your my court, but instead of a my court, it's an apartment or a home. You can see in the graphic they have bathrooms, they have kitchens, they have everything in here. So I believe this is going to be your home in NBA 2K26. Inside this home, you see you have the trophy room, you have the sunset room, you have a jersey room. Now, if you don't know, in my career, you can get jersey swaps in certain games to get players' jerseys. So these jerseys will probably be placed in this jersey room, as well as the trophies that you win while you're playing. You put in the trophy room. But the other Easter egg in here is Spike's room. Now, who is Spike? Is my player name going to be Spike? No. The Spike that they're talking about is the Spike that created this My Career storyline. Spike Lee. Again, I told y'all this before. Yeah, I don't know if y'all wanted to listen, but I told y'all Spike Lee was gonna do that. We got more evidence showing that Spike Lee is a part of the My Career storyline of NBA 2K26. Now, below that, you have a basketball. Now, this basketball was signed by Angel Reese. This is Angel Reese's signature.
That is Angel Reese. It is.
But somebody in the chat came up with the thought that maybe this basketball being signed by Angel Reese could hint that there will be female my players in the park in NBA 2K26. Now that might be a little stretch because we don't use really Wilson regulation basketball in the park, but that'd be a cool dope thing because like I say, I've been wanting that to happen the last couple years. Now you basketball in the park, but that'd be a cool dope thing because like I say, I've been wanting that to happen the last couple years.
Okay, so with the females in the park, I don't think they're gonna put it in the park, but I think so the rec game modes that they have, right? So like the triple threat, or say the rumor that has it is they're going to have a 5v5 mode similar to that. I think they're going to add female ballers into that, and I think that's what that special pack is. So if we go back and look, where is it at? Let me pull it up, chat. Let me pull it up. I'm pull it up. Dang, I got rid of the whole thing. Okay, so I'm gonna pull it up and then we'll turn that sound off. Mute. Okay, and then let me add it on there. Hang on, chat. Hang on, chat. I got y'all. Chill. Windows capture. Ah, man, I don't want capture. What? Display capture. No. Windows capture. Boom. Windows capture 2. Boop. Okay. Boop. Media player. Boop. Boop. Okay, chat. Hear me out. I'm cooking, chat. Let me cook. Let me put this up top. Okay, listen to me, chat. Listen to me. Let me see. He said that there's a pack that no one has gotten right, because you get a special pack. How far is that? Work with me, chat. Work with me. And he said, I don't think anyone has gotten that correct yet. No one has predicted what packs that's going to be. King of the Court. And he mentions it during the King of the Court, during the My Team section of this, right? So during the My Team section, it's a party and triple threat. Let's listen. King of the court. King of the court. We're gonna bounce 30 seconds. Okay, listen. Don't let me lose you. Don't let me lose you, chat. Okay, so boom. Series 1. Mystery Special Pack. No one made an accurate prediction yet. And then we go back to J-Mac. J-Mac, where you at?
Be a little stretch because we don't use really Wilson regulation basketball in the park, but
We don't use it in a park, but we use it in a rec setting. Now, if we have a rec setting, girls would run scrimmages in those recs, right? So what if that's what that pack is? It's going to be the first female baller, first female my team controllable player. What if? What if? That would be insane. What if you can say, okay, say you go to the Art of Shooting gym, right? To go talk to Lethal Shooter to get your hot zones. You know how they got the random NBA players in there? Why wouldn't you be able to run a fives game with females on the court, right? That happens all the time. You watch all these Ball is Life videos. They got girls balling at LA Fitness, right? I mean, these female hoopers are playing with regular dudes sometimes going out there. Like, you seen those videos of what's her name just getting dogged out by some random Asian dude, right? Like, it is what it is. But they out there in the rec. They're out there on the courts. They're playing recreational basketball at gyms, at random courts. And I feel like this might be it.
that'd be a cool, dope thing. Cause like I say, I've been wanting that to happen the last couple years. Now you see, you got this lava lamp, and listen, that lava lamp, cause MP be trying to tear them down up in the room, boy, bring them in, beat them down. But past that, you see the tape decks. Now these tape decks actually show the dates that everything is supposed to be released. But the one thing that I want to point out is this community content. So there will be some type of community day or community something.
Yeah, so with this, like the community, I think the community content is going to be, they're probably going to allow players, the people who are invited to community day or players who get access a little earlier, they'll be able to post videos on the 18th, so like 10 days earlier than everybody else. And put out their reviews, but they might still be under some kind of
content
NDAs
creators
where
will
they
get the
can't give out
opportunity
all
to
the
be able to play the game early and post the videos of the stuff that they learned before the game is released. Now, I went last year. I don't know if I'm going today. I don't even know if they're actually having a physical one or if they're going to do a download codes like EA does, where they just allow the people to get the code and you can play it, record it, do everything you need to do at your house. So I don't know, but I do know we're going to have a whole bunch of content, and I'm going to be live streaming every last one of these days on here. I'm going to be live streaming. Now, finally, we get to the last one. Now, you see the dates on here on the screen. The dates are the dates for early access, and then the dates for the regular access or the regular.
So I feel like them putting VHS tapes out, the VCR, you know what I mean, this bubble screen TV, I feel like that's them saying they're taking it back. We're gonna go back to our roots, right? And I feel like that's what this is. Like, it's a throwback. We're going back. We're going to go back to what was fun about games, and this is what we're doing. And I think this is like their way of saying that.
Release of NBA 2K26. Now, it's supposed to start at 9 a.m. Now, this is 9 a.m. Pacific time. This is not 9 a.m. Eastern time. So you have to do it. Eastern time, it'll be coming out at noon Eastern time. And then you just...
Well, I don't think it's going to be 9 Eastern time, because if you look at the 2K website, let's go NBA 2K. If you look at the 2K website, the countdown doesn't equate to 9 a.m. Eastern. It equates to like 11 or something like that. Or 10 Eastern. So it's not going to be 9. I think it equates to 10 Eastern or 11 Eastern is what I saw it earlier today. But I'm going to double check it and I'm going to let you guys know. So if we're looking at the early access countdown, we literally got it right here. Like we can really literally say, okay, let me see something. Copy. You guys can't see that. I'm using ChatGPT. Let's see. Counting down. What day would this be? What day and time will this be? And calculating the exact time. So give me a second. It says August 29 at 5 p.m. So August 29 at 5 p.m. is what ChatGPT is saying. What time is it? Yeah. Yeah, so 1700 UTC. What time is that Eastern? Yeah, see? So Friday at 12. 1 p.m. Eastern. Or 1 p.m. Eastern. So Friday, August 29, 1 p.m. Eastern. So that's what that equates to. So we got the time right there, chat. Unless they just changed it out of nowhere. That's
whatever
what we
time
got.
zone. Like for me, it'll be 11 o'clock. And then below, you see it says play in 2K26. Obviously, talking about 2K26. Now, the Hoop Vision is the thing that I'm not quite sure about. And maybe y'all can give me a hint. Let me know if y'all know what this is. I heard somebody said this has something to do with Spike Lee. I'm not sure, but let me know if y'all know what this is right here. And I'm excited, man. We got a bunch of good news, and we're gonna break down that even further in future videos. But I just wanted to get to this Easter egg thing, because listen, I like this. I feel like I'm, the Marvel movies where you be watching the movie and you be like, oh, that's because of this comic book. I don't be knowing the comic books. I just watch the YouTubers.
Okay. So appreciate you, J Mac. Go follow J Mac if y'all haven't followed J Mac, man. He's one of these. He's a good watch, man. Yeah, I mean, chat 2K26 is looking promising. We look like we are en route to a pretty solid game. Shakedowns live. So I feel like we're en route to a pretty solid game. They're doing pretty good with these contents. Yeah, the first look so far, real promising. So I'm excited for that. Hope you guys are too. So let's move on to this viral content, chat. What y'all trying to watch, man? I just be watching videos. Damian Lillard went back to Portland. Yeah, I think that's it, chat. I think we good. I got enough. I'll make some clips, put out some videos. Call it a day. I appreciate everybody for stopping by, man. Thank y'all for pulling up. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna holler at y'all later, man. Y'all take it easy.